my name is Dr. Melissa Cohen. I am back this week. There have been some changes to the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program. So I wanted to give you some updates. So the first big update is that if you have designated that you are in this Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program path, anyway, they are actually going to move all of those student loan borrowers to one student loan provider, and that's MOHELA. I think there's been some emails and communication going out about that as well. So that's the first big update. I think that's hopefully a great thing. That way all of those student loan borrowers within the specific program will be given the same information and such, and which will hopefully help them hit their 10-year mark, get all the payments that qualify, and get the rest of those student loans forgiven. Great news there. Now, the second, not really an update, but there is a proposal. So Biden, U.S. Department of Education, they have made a proposal to make part of this limited waiver of the Public Service Loan Program permanent. There are a couple features that right now, as you know, let me give some quick background information. So October 2021, Biden enacted for 1 year until October 31st, 2022, a limited time waiver for the Public Service Loan Program. So basically what that did is, just in a nutshell, it gave people more credit for their payments, for the 120 payments for basically the 10-year program. So people were told different things. Loans, if you paid your loan amount a couple days late, it didn't qualify. Now it qualifies. If you had a certain loan, say you consolidated it or you rolled it into a different type of loan that you didn't find out until 10 years later that it didn't qualify. Those are now part of this limited waiver. Right now, as I mentioned, it's only effective through October 31st, 2022. There are some numbers out there saying, 50,000, 60,000, 100,000. Hopefully that number keeps going up. I've looked at, different articles and such of people who have now had their loan forgiven. Whereas before this limited waiver program went into effect, it was like less than 1%. So very, very few people, like less than 1,000 people or something, had made it through and had their student loans forgiven by working in a Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program. So these changes are helping, and I keep, I've done a couple of these videos, and I just want to say, if you have been previously denied, just apply. They want you to apply. They want you to, because you do have to certify that you have worked for a public, in the public sector. So that's the main thing of, yes, you do have to apply. It's not going to be an automatic, cancellation by any means. All right, so here's part of the proposals that they would like of the limited waiver program that they want to make permanent. Just a proposal at this stage. This is July 2022. They want to make it easier for student loan borrowers to qualify for student loan forgiveness. So I mentioned about just a couple of those things just a few minutes ago. So they want to make a couple of those permanent. They also want to count partial, any lump sum, and any late student loan payments toward the student loan forgiveness program. So even if you made your payments late, they wouldn't qualify previously. Now it does qualify. And they also want to allow certain types of student loan deferments and student loan forbearances, such as those for military service, National Guard duty, and Peace Corps and AmeriCorps service. They want those to count toward the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program as well. Okay, now just to give you an update, now there are some of these provisions that they definitely will not become permanent because of statutory restrictions, so basically by law and such. So suppose that, here's one they give you. If you have an FFELP student loan, you need to apply for the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program before October 31st, 2022, so that you can count any of these student loan payments under this limited waiver. So those loans will not count past this limited waiver that expires October 31st, 2022. So I hope that still helps a lot of you folks out there, a lot of you student loan forgiveness folks as well. There are also other proposals out there. So we have U.S. Representative Joe Courtney from Connecticut. He has made another proposal, just a proposal, not a law. It's called the Simplifying and Strengthening PSLF Act. Basically, what they want to do is make it easier for any student loan borrowers in the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program. And they want to do this, instead of counting 10 years, they want to forgive everyone's loans that qualify within 5 years. Okay, that's a good, I mean, they're still making payments. The student loan borrowers are making payments, obviously, but instead of waiting 10 years, it would just be forgiven after 5 years. They also want to increase the eligibility of payments. So they want to make more loan payments eligible to count towards that 5 year. Now we talked about it a minute ago about some of the military payments, some about the late payments, things like that. They want to make that easier. They also want to consolidate student loans. So this new legislation would allow people to consolidate the student loans again, even if they've already done so through the Parent Plus loans or the FFELP loans. And then the fourth proposal of this act is for people in the military or on active duty. They want to get credit for forgiveness even if they were in student loan deferment or student loan forbearance. I get that. Military, active duty, hands off to you and your families. I know sometimes they don't pay a lot depending on where you rank in the military. So if you're just starting out and you've got student loans and you can't pay them and you go into deferment or forbearance, I think that should be a benefit of being in the military as well. Anyways, so that looks like those are the changes as well, and those are the proposals. And then one more thing, I thought it was interesting because I have student loans as well, but mine are from graduate schools and such. So I'm not kind of in that bucket. I'm kind of like, I knowingly went with these student loans. So guys, let me record this video and be quiet. Okay. So one thing that has happened that I thought was very interesting is I actually received a letter from the studentaid.gov website, which is the federal student aid and such, about the updates on the limited PSLF waiver. So it just basically, it was a long letter. It just said, here is the limited waiver program. If you qualify, then please start acting now. This is the email that I got that says the changes have wiped out student loans for over 100,000 people so far. That's in the last since October of 2021. So that's great news. If you are close to your 10-year mark and you're going to hit that before October, start getting your paperwork in place now. And like I said, you had to do the certification from your employers and such. So contact your student loan provider, get your stuff over to MOHELA, get your paperwork started so that if you're going to hit it, let's say August, September and such, that you can still qualify for this limited waiver. All right. There did have one big note I did want to put on here. It says there is a PSLF help tool to make sure you have eligible employment. So it says if your employer is likely ineligible from this help tool, it says request a final decision. So if you still think that you meet the requirements for the PSLF employer, but maybe you're not 100% sure, or you're not just in the straight black and white category, maybe it's a little gray, then go ahead and do the program waiver, the PSLF program waiver, and do it as soon as you can before October 31st and request a final decision. That means someone's going to have to review it and give you a yes or no. Make your case as much as you can that it is a public sector job, and then obviously, if you're only getting paid peanuts at this point versus a six-figure salary, then you hopefully will be more eligible as well. All right, so I have information here. It says if your employer is eligible, submit your PSLF form to MOHELA before October 31st. You can do it by mail, fax, or upload it. I am going to put all of this contact information on the screen because it's a lot to read out. It gives it to mail. It gives a phone number to fax. It's 866-222-7060. Or you can upload it to mohela.com/ I don't know which way this video is going to go. Upload document. If Mohila is already your servicer, you can upload it through the Mohila site. Okay, and as always, contact your student loan servicer if you need help. Share it with your coworkers and friends and family who works in the public sector service as well. And then they have to act before October 31st. So best wishes. I hope you finally reap the rewards of the program you were promised at least 10 years ago. And thank you for your service as well. Okay, if you have any questions, I will do my best to help you. This isn't a full-time job. I'm just hopefully reporting the news and what I'm able to find out there for you. So I'm not going to solicit work from you or anything. I have I teach classes. That's my full-time job as well. So I'm not going to try to sell you anything as well. All right, if you have any questions, like I said, I'll try to help you, do my best. Best wishes, and hopefully you get those financial rewards you deserve and just get that loans wiped out, that financial freedom, and just the weight lifted off your shoulders, and be rewarded for a job well done in the public service, and as well as finishing your college degree and such. So hope you have a great day. Thank you very much. Bye.